Everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna Crossland. For those of you who do not know me, hi, welcome. Today I am actually pretty shocked to be reviewing this from ColourPop called Pretty Fresh foundation. Now I only say pretty shocked because just recently I was like, I really want to try a new foundation. Do you ever get in like, you've been using a foundation that you liked, but then you've like over time you start to like it less because you've just been using it so much, so you start to realize every single little bit of its flaws. That's kind of where I'm at, and it's not that I want to get rid of the foundation or stop using the foundation that I'm using. I just was ready to try something new. So I actually was looking at trying their original Pretty Fresh foundation, but I did hear that it was very, very light coverage, and I didn't know if it was going to give me really any coverage. And I'm okay with just like a medium coverage for every day, but I just didn't want something that was going to be more. I didn't want something to be like a skin tint. Of course, I don't know what it's like. I've never used it. Also, in some videos that I have seen it used, it does seem to cling to people's skin a little bit more, which I did find to happen quite a bit with their original foundation they ever launched. I loved that it had a pump. I loved the packaging. I loved how affordable it was, and I loved the coverage so much, and it was so easy to apply, but it does cling to every little patch on your skin, and it also didn't hold up that long on my skin. So when I saw this was getting launched, like literally the day after I had decided I need to try a new foundation, I was like, okay, well, here we go. Ordering it from Ulta. So this is the Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation, and it retails for $16. So it's just, I feel like a little bit higher than most drugstore foundations, but I also feel like a lot of drugstore foundations are being hiked up in price, which really stinks, but it is what it is. I guess it's just they know it's in high demand. So this, oh, it's actually not on, it's not on ColourPop's website right now. It's only on Ulta. I think that I heard Ulta's getting more shades. There's going to be 42 shades. It's dermatologist tested, oil-free, and vegan. And this claims that its buildable, medium buildable coverage formula creates a healthy skin-like finish. Get coverage and hydration with the same good-for-you ingredients like hyaluronic acid for your healthiest looking skin ever. The thing I do love about ColourPop's website when you order a foundation is they give you actual photos of people wearing the foundation, so you can kind of be like, I feel like I'm kind of closest to her tone, and you can kind of base it off of that versus just seeing a swatch photo of foundation, which I always think is really hard. I have a hard time finding my shade no matter what. I always either go too light or too dark, and I feel like they have the best way online of trying to find your foundation, but it is available on Ulta right now. I do know that. And they have 29 colors on Ulta right now, and I got the shade medium 85N. I don't feel like I'm very warm tone, and I don't feel like I'm very yellow, and I don't feel like I'm very pink tone, so I usually do go for more neutral undertones. It comes in a pretty simple box. There's nothing to rave home about, but I really do like the packaging of this foundation. It's just a nice foundation. You get 1 fluid ounce, which is pretty typical of a foundation. It comes with a cap, which, am I remembering this correctly or no? I think the original did not have one, but it did have a cap where you could close it. Is this one? I'm scared. I do hear a click, but I don't know if it closes it or not. The original one, I know it had like, you just do this or this and it'd close, which is really nice for traveling. So I did like that about that one, but I think a lot of people still complained about not having a cap. Again, I don't know if it's changed because I bought it when it first ever launched, so I'm sure it could be different now. So I love pumps, so I have nothing bad to say about it there. $16, and let's get into it. So I'm gonna demo this and talk to you about my initial first impressions on this. So if you want to see how to apply, then just keep watching. Before I get into the video, I do want to note that I do have more dry skin. It is a little less dry because right now it's super humid, so it's probably just more combination right now. I don't know. I don't really know. Right. I got these headbands from Amazon and it came with like a pack of, I don't remember, a lot. I have like a headband in every color like this and I'm pretty obsessed. So I don't know if I got the right color because I ordered it online and I haven't seen it in store. So this should be interesting. I am getting a little bit darker. My face is a lot lighter than the rest of my body because I usually make sure I have sunscreen on my face. So I'm probably going to use a sponge today. I do not have their primer, so I'm actually going to use no primer. And this is in the shade Medium 85N. So it's medium and it's neutral. And when I ordered it, I was like, I have no idea what I just ordered. So hopefully, you know, it works out. It's dermatologist tested, oil-free, and it's vegan. It is very liquidy. I'm kind of thinking this is going to be close to like the Makeup Revolution Hyaluronic one or the Shop Miss A original AOA foundation that was in that dropper because it was very, very liquidy, or even the Dream Urban foundation, but that has SPF. I think that's from Maybelline. I'm not really sure. I'm actually using this sponge from Shop Miss A. It's called the Mochi Blender Sponge, and these are just my favorites ever. I love them so much. So we are just gonna pump and see what happens. Okay, so it is liquidy, but yeah, it's liquidy. I was gonna say, but it actually does have a pretty decent, okay, I don't think this color looks too bad yet. Hold on. Let me get a mirror. Okay. It looks pretty close to my skin tone actually. I do have a lot of red. Oh wow. So even though it is very liquidy, I feel like it covered my mole very well, which since it is so liquidy, I didn't even I mean, it's not completely covered. You can still see through it, but I didn't even expect it to cover as much as it did. It's going on very smooth, which I think for a liquidy foundation it should go on pretty smooth. I don't know that it claimed to have a smoothing effect, but I feel like my face looks so smooth. I think people who use fuller coverage foundations wouldn't consider this medium right off the bat. But to me it's like a perfect coverage for every day. So I'm personally very happy with it. I'd say it's just, you probably could build it up. So I'm going to take another pump. I think my only concern, let's start right on there. My only concern, did you see how it covers up my moles? Is how much I'd go through because I've already used like 2 pumps. And that's just kind of to get to that medium coverage. But wow, it's going on very smooth. If this lasts nicely, I'll probably like this more than the Makeup Revolution one because that one does not last on me at all, but I love how smooth that one looks and it just seriously gives you a flawless finish. But this one seems to be a little bit more promising because it is drying down a little bit more than that one, which I actually prefer because the other one kind of just slid around on my face. I don't know, this might even be a little bit too light for me, but I feel like once I put the rest of my makeup on, it's not that bad. There it is compared to like my chest. So I did turn the camera off for a little bit so I could start doing the rest of my makeup just to kind of let it dry down a little bit and see where we're at. So it does dry down more than a lot of other hyaluronic type of formulas. So I do think that's pretty cool and interesting. And I am going to try another layer just to kind of see how buildable it is. I know I look crazy. I don't have the rest of my makeup on, so my eye looks kind of crazy right now. So let's try another pump, but it does just look so smooth. It's not like most of their formulas that do tend to cling a lot to patches, at least in my skin right now. I like that it's liquidy, but it's not overly liquidy like some of them can be. So I so far really love it. It looks very smoothing, very kind of blurring, but I also love the coverage because to me it's like the perfect amount for every day. I can still see my freckles through it. It's definitely not like a cake face type of foundation. Like you can still see my really big mole through it. And it's very easy to blend, but it does dry faster than I thought it would. So when you first put it on, it does dry down a little bit faster. I don't know, I think it's a really nice formula so far. It does look a lot more glossy at first, and then it kind of does settle a little bit more. As you can see, it looks very shiny there. But it does kind of settle down to more of like a satin. I like it so far. Of course I have to test it in our horrible humidity, which I think no foundation on my skin really lasts that long when it's super humid outside. It's rough here in Illinois with the humidity. So maybe tomorrow I will test it out and do some check-ins with you guys, but it's not like clinging around my nose like a lot of foundations do, so that is really good. I'm gonna finish up the rest. I'm not gonna powder it or anything and just see how makeup applies on top of it. So I finished the rest of my makeup. I put on bronzer, I put on my highlighter, I put on blush, and everything went on top of it so smooth, and I didn't even powder it beforehand. I just put it right on top. It didn't make the rest of the foundation budge. It just stayed there, but yet it doesn't feel like really tight or drying. It still feels like, I don't know, like I feel like I have foundation on, but it's very lightweight still. Like my nose is starting to itch. But it just looks like, does it settle? Yeah, of course it's gonna settle, you know, into places, but it looks so smooth and just so good. And honestly, if this lasts a really long time, I'll probably test it out tomorrow. I'm sure I'll be outside more tomorrow. Today's just been a crazy day with doctor's appointments and stuff, and it's really late at night. So I don't think I'm going to do check-ins tonight, but I think I'm going to wear it tomorrow and then update my description box or update you guys in my next video. But so far, yeah, I'm a fan. It's like my favorite foundation that I've ever used in the longest time. So basically all it comes down to is how long it's gonna last. Other than that, I'm completely in love. Based off of the way it feels, it doesn't feel like it's slipping and sliding all over my face, and I didn't even powder it. I do have more dry skin, so this could be why, but again, it is more humid right now, so I am a fan. It just looks like skin. It looks pretty. I like it. What do you guys think? And again, like it didn't budge. Like my skin looks almost smoother than it did before, and I don't have any primer on. I also think that this color is pretty good. I mean, it might be a little bit, see, my chest is like even a little bit lighter than my shoulders. My shoulders are just very dark. I also want to note that when it dries down, it feels pretty nice too. It feels a little bit tacky and it does transfer a little bit, but nothing like you would think a hyaluronic foundation would, because they are supposed to be super moisturizing, and I feel like it is moisturizing. I honestly feel like I just put on a thicker moisturizing mask for nighttime. It just feels really good. Let me know, are you guys going to try this out? I don't know how it will work on oily skin. Someone I follow on YouTube named Ryan, I actually do follow her on Instagram as well. She is very nice. She does really awesome YouTube reviews. She actually just reviewed this also today or yesterday, depending when I put this up, and she has oily foundation. So if you want to see how an oily, if you have oily or oily combination skin, I highly recommend checking out her video. I will link that down below, and go support her channel, because it's just seeing different skin tones and also different colors if you're trying to figure out your shade. So yeah, go check her out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.